What Ellen DeGeneres has to say.
So it has been a very long time since we last talked about Ellen Degenerate, and that's mainly because she had gone into hiding ever since she was basically the only person to be legitimately cancelled. Well, her and that one Eagles fan, that is. For those of you who don't remember, or weren't around back then to remember, for years Ellen was one of the most successful people in show business, dancing around Target, embarrassing unassuming stay-at-home mothers for her own sick amusement, taking selfies with creepers.
Yeah, chat, didn't she like spit on black people or some shit? Or am I tweaking? Did she not spit on black? She's with Diddy. That's good enough for me. Get her in jail.
And who could forget cuddling with P. Diddy? And despite all of this foolishness, universally, she did maintain a pretty good reputation, even receiving some...
Yeah, she was like, her like situation was apparently very bad. She would like spit on her workers. She would tell her workers to like fuck off and go home because she didn't like the perfume they were wearing or some shit. Like, her situation was apparently like really bad. Like, she was really abusing her workers. Yeah.
Sort of humanitarian award from Obama back when he was still president. On top of that, her show was insanely popular for over a decade.
Like, the second she got, like, cancelled, because, chat, in my opinion, you can't get cancelled. The second she got cancelled, she just stopped her show. She was like, well, I think it's time the show came to an end.
At the end of it, she was making well over $50 million a year, with tons of sponsorships and other opportunities rolling in every single day.
Okay, she
and
kind
keep
of
in
fine,
mind,
though,
guys,
no?
this is back when you could find an oddly shaped Cheeto and end up on that godforsaken couch. And people ate this shit up for breakfast.
Philip Schofield being back on TV is crazy.
Lunch and dinner, and she was essentially being forced down our throats for a very long time. But for Ellen, it wasn't always like this. She had to grind for years to become a successful stand-up comedian back in the late 80s.
I mean, chat, isn't she a lesbian? Isn't that like super hard?
Early 90s.
I'll check out that TikTok after
the funniest comedian
in
the country and making a few appearances on late night television, she would come out with her own self-titled sitcom that did very well. That wasn't until she revealed her sexuality both on the show and in real life.
Oh, so she...
Susan, I'm gay.
That reminds you of when Speed goes, I'm gay!
And the ratings plummeted because the world was not socially ready for that during the 90s.
Yep.
And then everybody got so sick of it, it got to the point where even Elton John, who I'd never met in my life, Elton John said, "We know you're gay, shut up and be funny." It's funny because all along that was my...
What the fuck did Elton John say? We know you're gay, just shut up and be funny. It's crazy.
My biggest fear is that it was going to get canceled.
I never wanted to be an activist. I just wanted to entertain people. I just wanted to make people feel good.
So then she was out.
In her younger days, she was kind of fine, no?
And of course, she gets the speaking role for Dory in Finding Nemo, which was a massive hit.
Keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
And this leads to her getting her foot back into the entertainment door and eventually becoming a titan in daytime television. And so for years, her infamous catchphrase on her show that represented her entire brand was "be kind to one another," as people even referred to Ellen as...
Chat, you know what's crazy, chat? I'm gonna say something. Did you know that Batman, the reason why Batman is the best superhero, do you know why, chat? Do you know why? Because Batman is getting his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I'm not talking about the actors. I'm talking, they're just gonna give just like Batman himself is such an iconic like character. They're giving him a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, you don't see Spider-Man have one. You ain't see Superman have one. You don't see Iron Man on this bitch. But guess what? Batman's on this bitch.
As the Queen
I need to rewatch A Silent Voice. Be prepared to cry like a bitch
again. In the end, in 2020, hundreds of stories went viral on social media describing Ellen as a bully both at work and in her personal life.
She was
Talks of a
horrible.
toxic work environment were at the forefront of these complaints, including racist undertones, intimidation, and even sexual misconduct from high-level employees were all alleged against Ellen and this workplace that she had created. High-level employees from producers to talent on the show have all corroborated these allegations of a toxic work environment.
Were you surprised by the sheer number of responses that you got?
I actually was surprised by that, and especially the variety of different kinds of stories that perpetuated all those rumors and kind of hearsay about like, oh, Ellen is not quite as nice as she seems, and she would appear.
It's very sad.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing. As a host. But as
a
boss
person, she's a
and
bitch.
someone who's behind the scenes
She's a
running the
goddamn
show,
bitch.
She's a different person. She's
Yeah,
not
she
the
a
person
hoe.
people see in front of the camera.
Yeah.
This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years.
While I am grateful for the opportunity it afforded me, I did experience and feel the toxicity of the environment, he writes on Instagram.
Allegedly, Ellen was sending people home if she didn't like how you smelled. People were not
That's what I mean, chat. If she didn't like the way someone smelled, she'd send them home. The fuck?
to eat certain types of food while on set. There were stories of employees being terminated suddenly and without reason. Many employees were allegedly trained to not even make eye contact or expect to be acknowledged by
eye
Ellen.
contact.
A former Ellen staffer writes, I saw Ellen in the hallways every day and would say hello, and she never once said hello back. She wouldn't smile. She wouldn't even acknowledge me at all for 2 seasons.
That's crazy.
And it sounds like she would go out of her way to publicly embarrass employees.
Chat, this is the one thing I'm happy about. I am pretty much almost the same way I am on stream. So if you ever meet me in real life, you're either going to get some fucking weird, energetic weirdo or some weird, like, chill weirdo, you know?
On a consistent basis. Basically, it seems like Ellen is one of those people who thinks she is better than others.
That's why, chat. That's why when I start doing my IRL, that's why when I start doing my, like, IRL streams and shit, you're going to just see that I'm literally just the same fucking in public. Like, as much as I, like, you know, as much as other people aren't, I am, you know what I mean? I am the clip. Oh, that's the lesbian stripper. No, she's a degenerate. She's Ellen Degenerate.
If she deems you or your job is unimportant. Understand, guys, that these stories were not only coming from the workplace, but also from people who were dealing with Ellen in her everyday life. Like this bodyguard who frequently works with celebrities, who said that Ellen was the first and only who he had ever worked for to not even acknowledge his presence. And this waitress who claims that Ellen went out of her way to email her boss to try and get her fired over chipped nail polish.
She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chipped nail polish.
What?
And I was like,
what the fuck? I never knew it was that bad. I didn't know she was doing that, chat. I didn't know she was doing that. I knew she was doing bad stuff to like her employees, but to go to a restaurant and you see the waitress has some chipped nail polish, to call her boss and tell her she needs to be sacked is crazy.
what?
Not only that, but also during her show, her audience members who got to participate in her games and whatnot also had stories of her being an elitist
122.
douchebag.
You just expect.
I'm telling you, chat, my IQ is... Hey, what, chat? 122 is still above average. And bear in mind, IQ doesn't mean how smart you are. It's more of like how you can solve problems and shit.
When you go to meet
IQ doesn't mean how smart you are.
And then when you get disappointed, it's like such a letdown. And they tell you,
obviously it's a factor, but it's not
like funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you. Would only speak to the audience when the cameras were rolling. As soon as they turned the cameras off, she would not even acknowledge the audience. She would just sit on the couch, basically.
And even when she went over to Australia to do some shows over there, this is what a radio show host who was invited on had to say about his experience and how Ellen treated her staff.
Producers called us aside and said, now, Neil, no one's to talk to Ellen. So you don't talk to her, you don't approach her, you don't look at her. The people who worked with her walked on eggshells the whole time.
So I'm not gonna lie, if I was invited to Ellen's show, I'd just literally, like, come up to her and be like, hey, how you doing?
Totally bizarre.
Bro, Swifted, listen. When you're a teenager, your IQ can change, that's true. But it can change for the worse as well. So don't be acting like, oh, just because I'm a kid, it can get better. No, it can also get worse. Remember that.
Like, we're there to do an interview.
It can also get worse.
To promote what she's doing, but you can't look at her? Like, someone get real.
And obviously, with her having this long-standing reputation as this person who promoted nothing but positivity, people were shocked and outraged at this walking contradiction that Ellen had become. And at the time, when she tried and failed to make a comeback, she also gave this half-assed apology letter where she tried to dump the blame on everyone else.
I'm just so sorry that it's come to this.
Chat, if she was earning like $50 million a year, why the fuck would she want to come back? I would just be like, alright, the last 5 years, I've earned $50 million a year. I don't need more money. Like, really I'm chilling. Let me just retire.
This has gone on way, 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 way too long. people have gotten away with murder.
Basically said she had no idea that this is what life was like on set. Given just the nature of the show is that her employees should love coming to work, no question.
Degenerate saying she wasn't perfect and realized that some leaders were not as sensitive to human beings as they should have been, adding that reading disturbing allegations about the atmosphere on the show was heartbreaking.
Stop trying to like make excuses, bro.
Of this
about your
environment. You don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
And this would become a running theme for Ellen not to take any true accountability for her downfalls. And then she also addressed...
Isn't this like every celebrity, though? Doesn't every celebrity just be like, nah, man. Nah, dude, dude, I didn't buy all that oil. I didn't buy all that baby oil. That weren't me. That was somebody else.
Situation poorly on her show, basically saying that if these things were going on, that she had no idea about it, while those making the accusations made it sound like she was the ringleader.
How was everybody's summer? Good? Yeah? Mine was great.
Being known as the Be Kind Lady is a tricky position to be in. So let me give you some advice.
No, chat, I don't think you understand. People liked the Ellen show. Nobody likes James Corden's show. Everybody knows, chat. James Corden is a dickhead and a little prick. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows he's literally unlikable. But with Ellen, like, people genuinely liked her. Like, people genuinely watched her.
Out there, if anybody's thinking of changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind Lady.
And this shit somehow gets even more dystopian when you realize that this was the audience she was standing in front of. The show after that ran for 2 years, and it was essentially a corpse of itself.
I don't remember.
Forced laughter, forced kindness, and it was clear that Ellen was feeling the pressure while crying about the situation she put herself in. Ratings were at an all-time low, and old clips began to resurface that further shined a light on the downright douchebaggery that Ellen displayed during her interactions with various guests on her show over the years. Only further adding to the cancellation of Ellen.
She's just
and her
so
unlikable
unlikable, bro.
And now, guys, a whopping 4 years after she was thrown away like a wallet condom, Ellen is back with a stand-up special of all things. And Grandma is holding no punches on this one when it comes to her quest for self-pity.
What the fuck is this?
Comedian in the green room shot as she seemingly reflects on her career. But this moment of reflection quickly turns bitter,
what is she doing?
As poor Ellen is ironically painted as being hurt by the mean headlines. And I knew that we were in for a doozy as soon as she walked up the stairs and they showed various headlines from her cancellation era. And that apparently she was accused of...
I was literally about to say that. Netflix really do be, like, doing anything.
Going too far and being too gay. Yes, I'm serious.
Being accused of going too far, too gay.
As
What the wait, she's accused of being too gay. What the what the fuck? What?
That had absolutely anything
she's
to do
accused
with why
of being
people
too
have a
gay.
problem with
Yes.
her at this point.
Cha,
and that should have been the
that's
moment
some.
that we all
Cha, I'm
should have
accused of
known
being
that
too
she was
straight.
going to play the victim.
I like
here.
vagina
I
too
mean,
much.
Seriously, you had 4 years to reflect, do therapy, ayahuasca.
Oh, yeah,
in a
send me
dirt
the
fields with
TikTok
Aaron
after I've
Rodgers
seen
and
this,
George
okay?
Bush,
After I watch this.
And this is what you come up with. And then they directly address the elephant in the room, her cancellation.
Breaking news tonight. Is the Queen of Nice really the Queen of Mean?
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar.
I mean, with situations like this, it's almost gotten to the point where I truly believe that some people just lack the ability to take any sort of accountability. She even tries to foreshadow her eventual downfall with a quote from one of her older stand-up specials.
Years ago, I started ending my show by saying, be kind to one another. Here's the downside. I can never do anything unkind ever now.
This toxic workplace
That's so funny! Chad, that's so funny!
was the shit that I expected. Now this is when Ellen comes out and a sea of middle-aged white faces just go insane. I mean, I'm serious. I paused the video, I loaded it in 4K, and I didn't see a drop of melanin in the crowd, or anyone under the age of 40 for that matter. She starts out with Botox and face filler jokes, and parlays that into another joke about parallel parking.
I think we all care what people think. We can say we don't. We can pretend we don't care what people think, but all it takes is trying to parallel park in front of a crowded outdoor cafe. Spot looks big enough.
Bro.
You line it up the way you always do. You pull in.
Yeah,
A little too close. You're scraping the hubcap the entire way along the curb.
I'm sorry, but on a personal level, Grandma's parking lot adventures just aren't doing it for me. It has the same energy as a boomer trying to step into this century and learn to use an iPhone. She goes on and on about how she doesn't know how to use the basic functions of her car, like her fucking windshield wipers, and how embarrassing it apparently is when she cannot
really do
turn
be
them
doing
off.
anything, bro.
Like, even if we just can't figure out how to turn our windshield wipers off, which to me is one of the most embarrassing things, is driving a car when it's not raining and the windshield wipers are going. And then you're trying to fiddle with it, trying to turn it off, and you don't know how to turn it off because it's always
What the
different.
fuck are they doing, bro? What is Netflix? Yo, chat, let me run Netflix. Let me be the CEO of Netflix. I'm gonna increase Netflix's stock by 250%. Let me fucking run Netflix, bro. You wouldn't have shit like this on there. What's up, Jack?
Sometimes it's on the end of the lever on the steering wheel. Sometimes there's a lever.
How far can we get?
Ellen, just
I'll
stop
click
the
that. I'll click that link
bullshit.
after
We
this
know
chat.
that you have absolutely no shame with your conniving ass. I mean, to be fair, she's always been a pretty clean comedian when it comes to her stand-up, and she's kind of cut from that same cloth as Jerry Seinfeld, which is really not my type of stand-up. Regardless, this whole thing is
chat,
just
I'm not gonna
very
lie.
enticing.
This is gonna sound weird, but I really only do prefer, like, if I'm gonna be honest, I really only prefer black people stand-up comedy. There's like maybe 2 white comedians that I might watch. I might like, you know what, fuck it up. I don't mind. But realistically, I prefer black comedians. I just think they're funnier, bro.
So far.
Don't get me started on the dashboard lights, too. The dashboard lights are not illuminated all the time, so when they are, it must mean something serious, right? But check engine, that's vague. I've checked it, it's there.
Oh, brother, this guy
stinks!
I mean, you go away for almost 4 years, and this is what you come up with all the crazy shit that has taken place in the world, and we gotta hear about your inability to understand cars for 20 minutes?
I have never used my parking brake.
Chat, just like a woman to complain about driving for like 20 minutes. Chat, not to be that guy, but of course the woman's complaining about driving and parking.
I've
No?
never parked my car and thought, I want it more parked than this.
Now after this, she does jump right
Rip
into the
Fluffy. Who the
cancellation,
fuck's Fluffy, bro?
which I really think was the whole purpose of the special and her tour in general.
All right, let me see what else I can tell you about that. It's been going on. Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I'm mean. Yeah. Yeah, you can't be mean and be in show business. No, they'll kick you out.
And then she kind of half cries about the fact that when she goes to a restaurant, people are just waiting for her to be a bitch or to do something mean, and how she's beyond sick of this mean queen label. And I will admit, some of the dialogue here is pretty funny. I do like this
who's
little part
Fluffy,
about
child?
her
Who's
talking
Fluffy?
with the therapist about the cancellation.
At one point, my therapist said, Ellen, where do you get this idea that everyone hates you? And I said, well, New
I don't
York
know.
Times,
Ellen, maybe you was abusive. Maybe you were pretty much an abusive boss for like 10 years, no?
Post.
She then talks about the ironic send-off phrase that she used to use, saying to be kind to one another, and that it would have been better if she said,
Go fuck yourselves.
really living life on the edge here. I mean, the mask has slipped and she has started to admit her own intolerance for everyday people. And this is when the real deflection starts. Basically, she jokes that harmless pranks and games were the reason behind the toxic workplace allegations. She also claims that she never even wanted to be the boss, and that she wasn't in charge on the set of her shows. Which is a way different tune than what she was singing when she did her first show back after the drama.
I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show.
Ain't no way Gabriel Iglesias is dead, bro. Ain't no way he's dead. Chat, don't say that. He's one of my favorite Mexican people. Don't say he's dead, chat. I don't really like him as a comedian, but I like him as a person. Don't tell me he's dead, chat. Don't be saying that. Don't be saying R.I.P.
This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I am Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear.
I mean, it looked like I was the boss. The show was called Ellen, and everybody was wearing T-shirts that said Ellen, and there were buildings all over the Warner Brothers lot that said Ellen. And
Emmerich is how am I fake?
I should be in charge.
I mean, talk about a lazy-ass cop-out when people have gone on record to say that she was the main
I know Gabrielle Glaze, that's
in
the
this
fucking
environment where bully behavior ran
chubby little
rampant.
Mexican.
She also tries
That's
to
the
make
best
the
way to
point
describe
that
him.
she got canceled
Comedian.
because she is a woman.
Most women aren't raised with confidence.
With a nice little
we just aren't, and we're
fucking,
too self-conscious, which is why you rarely see a woman playing air guitar.
Yeah, I don't like his comedy. I don't know much about him. I just like him as a person.
You didn't get canceled for being a woman.
You
got
can like someone as a
canceled for being
person, not know
fraud.
too much about
The
them.
physical comedy in general here is pretty bad, but hey, she is like 70 years
What
old.
the fuck was
she
that,
continues here to hammer down the point that she got canceled because she was too far against the grain.
Eventually, they're going to kick me out a third time for being old, mean, old, and gay, the Triple Crown.
Honestly, I would argue that she's
they're
become
gonna,
so
They're gonna
famous.
kick me out because I'm gay. They're all homophobic. Bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck is you...
Because she was unapologetically gay at a time when it was not very common or accepted. And yes, at that time, she did take a huge
Chat, low-key,
chance
she
and
was fine, no? I mean, her eyes look a bit demonic here. But...
faced a lot of backlash for doing so, but it obviously made her a pioneer in the entertainment space, and really a gay icon forever. She then makes this weird illusion that she might be kind of autistic.
Someone did suggest that I get tested to see if I'm on the spectrum.
She did look a witch.
Well, I am on the spectrum. We all are. It's a spectrum.
And then she claims that she has OCD, and she even says that she has ADD. I don't know. This
What the fuck is
whole special isn't
ADD
actually the
in
worst
ad?
thing I've seen in recent
Advertisement.
times. That award goes to Joe Rogan's recent steaming pile of shit that he put out last month. But much like Joe, I think the main problem here is that it has been such a long
In my
time
opinion,
since
Joe
Ellen
Rogan's
has lived
comedy
any sort of normal
relies
life,
too heavily
meaning
on
most of the stuff
physicality,
that
bro.
She says is just not very relatable.
Who is your
to the
favorite white people comedian? Like I said, my favorite comedians are black, but if I had to choose like the white ones, probably... Andrew Schultz is one of them. And then probably Bill Burr. That's probably it.
Average person.
James
And her whole
Gordon.
dialogue around
James
to
Gordon.
cancellation is really
Who the
just a
fuck is
lot of
James
deflection.
Gordon?
And it's not even clever.
James
deflection
Corden
at
is not
that.
my goat.
And this speech right here at the end just made me cringe on a whole nother level.
I'm happy not being a boss or a brand or a billboard, just a person, just a multifaceted person with different feelings and emotions, and I can be happy and sad and compassionate or frustrated. I have OCD and ADD. I'm honest, I'm generous, I'm sensitive and thoughtful, but I'm tough and I'm impatient and I'm demanding, I'm direct. I'm a strong woman.
Playing the "I'm just like you" card is downright
Shut the
hilarious.
fuck up,
Keep in mind, this is coming from a woman who allegedly demanded lower levels of her staff on her show not even make eye contact with her,
Yeah,
and
like-
frequently treated the people she worked with like fucking peasants. I mean, to me, Ellen's always been on some weird Illuminati shit, and something tells me that
Nah,
she's been
I
so-
don't like Fluffy as a comedian. I don't think, in my opinion, he's not funny. He's just not funny. I like the Scouser that bullies everyone. Yeah, I've seen clips of him. He's chat the comedian, the Scouse that bullies everyone. He's low key alright, but I wouldn't watch a comedy special. Like, I might watch a clip on TikTok, but if I like for me to sit down and watch a comedy special, it'd have to either be Andrew Schultz, maybe Bill Burr, and then like my favorite type of comedians like Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle. I fucking love Dave Chappelle. Bad pause, by the way. Yeah, my bad. Yo, what's up, Alex Lander? How you doing, man?
A lot of time with P. Diddy, if you know what I'm saying. Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, or as I call him,
Cuddle McSnuggle stuff. What the fuck? Or as I call him, Cuddle McSnuggle stuff. What the fuck? Cuddle McSnuggle stuff. You don't need to know why. Nah. Pause. Yeah, Chad, that's why I prefer, like, Dave Chappelle, like, Chris Rock back in the day. Like, bro, Chris Rock back in the day. I like it when they're just brutal. And Dave Chappelle, in my opinion, is probably one of the greatest comedians, like, of all time. I'd consider Dave Chappelle the GOAT, in my opinion.
Cuddle McSnuggle stuff. You don't need to know why. This group of kids had a dream.
Nah, delete this image. Ellen, delete this image. This group of kids had a dream to dance with Cuddle McSnuggle stuff. Today that dream came true. Fuck. Nah.
To dance with Diddy. Today that dream came true. No matter what name you go by, you were always one of my favorite people.
How much did she fucking glaze him?
To have on the show, Diddy.
Why is she just
Thanks
constant?
to my friend Diddy. You're always the life of the party. Apparently, I have a history of not knowing which parties I've been invited to. At Diddy. Either way, they just give her a standing ovation while she watches on in all her glory. I mean, seriously, it lasts like a fucking minute. You know, it's almost like watching.
Bro, chat. I feel like everybody now is somehow connected to Diddy. Chat. Hey, would you? What do you mean, would I? Chat, I got a lot of comments. Chat, if you're asking would I smash? Hell fucking yeah. Are you stupid? Look at her. Chat, she could chew me out, spit me, like chew me, spit me out, spit on me, sit on me, slap me, whip me. Chat, I let that woman stomp on my eyeball with her like high top shoes, whatever the fuck. I let that woman use my fucking ball sack as a fucking boxing bag to train. Look at her, bro. You're telling me she don't dumb. Oh my god, look at her smile.
Blushing. I look good too, right? I like your nose.
My nose? No. That's specific.
My nose? That's specific.
My nose. You got the
Nah, she tough.
Did get a participation trophy.
But yeah, what I was saying was, I feel like everything I watch now, everybody is somehow now connected to Diddy. This Jamal. Oh, it's Jamari. Yeah, it's Jamari.
Yes, we all know you actually sucked. She closes the show out by basically saying all of those people.
Chat, yes, I glaze every female I see, but guess what? In real life, I wouldn't. If I saw that cop in real life, I'd say, have a nice day, officer, and go along with my day. You know why? Because I don't fucking want a woman right now.
Who thought that she was mean, were basing it off of lies, and that only she knows the truth in her heart, and that she hopes that in the end people will remember
This clip
her
is
as
crazy. Knowing this woman has been to a Diddy party, getting a fucking medal or some shit from the president is crazy.
Someone who was loved by the masses. And this is where the show really wraps up. They do like 10 different rounds of applause for her in the last 5 minutes, and overall she just kind of paints herself as some sort of martyr, which is just hilarious. Overall, the special was fine. It was just really boring. And I thought that her playing the ignorant victim card was just a massive cop-out. Was this the worst stand-up special I've ever seen? Absolutely not. I mean, I've watched the Gringo Poppy.
He's fucking ass as well,
I just didn't really find this
What's his
funny
name?
at all,
Not
but it
Andrew.
wasn't exactly, like, unbearable. And at the end of the day, Ellen's legacy will be that she was a pillar in the gay community, who in my opinion overstayed her welcome and bit off more than she can chew. But I want to know what you guys think about Ellen's comeback down below in the comments.
I think her whole like comeback shouldn't be necessary. Hey, it's clear you like this video. There's one right here as well. Why don't you watch this one too? Come on, watch it. Press it, bruh.
Yo, they still ain't pressed the
Well, that's
video.
what I'm saying. They ain't pressing it, bro.